All right, we are gathered here today, broadcasting from the Ginger and Baker studio in the heart of the Music District in Old Town, Fort Collins, beautiful Old Town, Fort Collins, and on KRFC 88.9 FM and streaming live on krfcfm.org. I'm your host, Sean, and today's amazing musical guest is the Catcalls. Take it away.
Latest single we just released called Muddy Waters.
Awesome. Great tune. Got another one lined up for us right now?
Yeah, we're going to do, this is a tune that, one of the earliest tunes that I wrote called Supernova.
Sweet.
2, 3, 4. Let me be your supernova. Look out for, 'cause I like to know you. Be a supernova. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, let
right, Supernova with the Catcalls here on KRFC RadioVision, live at lunch, and kicking off the hour with Muddy Waters, which is a brand new song. And we'll talk about maybe some songwriting here in a bit, and the new and the old, and dig into that. But I thought the top of the hour here, we'd dig into who everybody is that's hanging out with us today in the Ginger and Baker studio. Sound good, guys?
Sounds great.
Awesome. So right at the front, singing, playing some guitar, we have Riley Ann. And I think you brought some other guitars and other things that we get to experience this hour as well.
Yeah, lots of guitars here.
Riley, is there a moment in your life when you just recall, like, suddenly, like, music was everything, or a huge thing, much bigger than it had ever been before? Was there a concert or a song you heard on the radio, something that really changed your life?
Well, I'd always been in music, started with, like, piano lessons when I was a kid. Hated it. Pretty common thing.
I feel like that's very common.
took some Suzuki violin for a hot second when I was little. Fifth grade band, picked up saxophone, and I actually had a ska band in high school. And
nice.
That was fun. And then, it just kind of grew from there. Taught myself guitar in college, banjo shortly after college, had a folk band, and it just kind of grew to this point where I was actually teaching high school English in northwestern Illinois. I was living in Galena. And I got to the point where my folk band was playing like 2 or 3 or 4 shows a weekend. And then I'd have to like go teach for 5 days. And I'm like, I always had this sort of like ominous stack of papers to grade, and I could never keep up. And it just, it got to be too much. And I just decided to jump all in for music, moved out to Colorado, and here I am.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad to have you here in Colorado.
No, I'm thrilled to be here. I love this place.
You have a ton of different projects, too. What are some of the other projects that I've seen you playing like one-off shows before in parks and all sorts of stuff, but what are your kind of main shows that main bands you're playing with, I guess, right now?
Yeah, so, the Catcalls is, the kind of my biggest project that I have. About a year ago, I started a folk band called Back to the Mountain.
Back to the Mountain?
Yeah,
awesome.
So we do kind of a blend of like some old time, a little bluegrass, a lot of singer-songwriter stuff, but it's an all-female band of upright bass. The other woman, Kelsey, and I both switch off who plays fiddle, banjo, guitar.
Cool.
We all sing and songwrite, so that's a lot of fun.
Nice.
And then fairly recently, I just started collaborating with Jeff Finlan.
Nice.
That's so
great.
I'm excited. We're going to be doing a show at Avo's in September. So.
Nice. We'll have to keep does that project have a name, or is it just...
I think
nothing
it's just
yet?
Jeff Finlan.
Jeff Finlan, yeah.
So I'll mainly be playing saxophone and fiddle.
Yeah.
And singing.
All the instruments.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Well, I kind of met you a while back because you taught my kiddo a ukulele. So you teach, or in the past you were teaching a lot of instruments as well. So that's really cool. What is all the, I guess everybody always says, how many instruments do you play? What instruments do you play? And I'm like, well, I kind of play them all in a way, I think, but some not very well. But what do you consider like your main instruments?
For songwriting, definitely guitar. And if I'm going into a jam, I probably feel most comfortable on fiddle.
Okay.
But yeah, I just
and you get to call the tunes. Do
a little bit of everything. And it's funny because when you're like, oh yeah, you taught Arlo ukulele. I was like, well, we did piano.
Yes,
we did
that's
drums,
true. We did everything.
Ocarina.
Yeah, harmonica.
Oh yeah. I forgot about
every
that.
week was a different instrument.
Yeah.
You were
I was like, all right, what do you
initially
feel like today?
assigned to do ukulele.
Yeah, but I love that. I think that's so important for people to sort of explore all the different facets of music, and every instrument sort of brings out a different element for you to explore. So I think that's awesome.
That's awesome. All right, let's go clockwise around the room if everybody's comfortable with that. That way you guys can prepare your answers. And we have Dylan Good on the drums. You got a mic there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
There we go. Taking it off.
Yes.
You look like an announcer on a game show now.
All right. Come on down.
We have Dylan Good on the drums. Dylan, what about you? Is there a moment in your life where it hit you that you absolutely loved music and that's something you really wanted to focus on, or was it always there for you?
Probably not one moment. Yeah. It was probably, I was tricked into it. So I think by my parents, I think that's what started it. So Yeah.
Awesome.
Just like, playing music around me, taking me to musical events, and then like tricking me into playing instruments. And so, yeah.
They're like, just hold this for a minute.
Yeah, I was swindled into it basically. So that's
What kind of music were your parents into and focused on that you kind of dabbled in?
Well, my dad plays a little banjo.
Okay.
And my mom had a guitar. And so, like, they would play that sometimes around me.
Some backyard boogies and stuff like that?
Yeah. And then my dad's sister, my aunt, she was in a bluegrass band, like an all-female bluegrass band. And so then they would sometimes play too. Not that I didn't get to see the band, that was before me. Yeah, so all of that kind of stuff.
Brought it into your life.
So, yeah, I don't know, tons of music.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And are you in any other projects right now?
No, I don't think so.
Not that you know of?
Not that I know of.
Not until somebody swindles you into it.
Yeah,
again.
exactly. Someone will trick me into something soon.
If you're looking to swindle a drummer,
yeah.
Are you any other instruments that you play, or is it sticking with drums?
Yeah, all the drums, all the percussion. I guess the first instrument that I learned would have been piano, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
The glockenspiel, maybe.
Oh, yeah?
That's
fun.
Yeah.
We gotta bust that out.
Yeah.
No, I don't have that anymore.
Well, music go around or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. And then we have Dave Jensen on the tearing it up on the lead guitar, the Fender Tele over there. And what do you got? What's the amp? Fender?
It's just a little Fender 25R.
Okay.
The R stands for reverb.
Reverb.
It's wrapped in red.
It is. That's
beautiful.
why I was
if you're
like, which one is
listening
that?
on the radio, just know that it's bright red.
Beautiful red color, yeah.
And if you're colorblind, it's a grayish color.
If you're listening on the radio and you want to see it, maybe you can tune in the YouTube page, KRFC RadioVision. But what about you, Dave? Any giant inspirations in your childhood? Any come to Jesus moments for music for you?
I knew that I wanted a guitar probably at the age of 6, and I think that I'd asked for every holiday you could think of, things that weren't holidays that I just made up that maybe I could get a guitar for. And finally I got one when I was 13 and kind of just slugged through it and just practicing and not getting anywhere really.
Yeah.
And then freshman year of college, it was like somebody walked in and just turned the light switch on. And so it just totally changed my whole trajectory, and I got a guitar performance degree instead of the original plan, and have just been playing ever since.
Nice. What was the original plan? Where would you be without the guitar?
Oh, pre-med.
Pre-med? Oh, okay. Doing surgery with those crafty hands. Instead, they're doing something way more important.
Yeah.
Guitar licks. That's awesome. Did you have any college bands or anything?
Yeah, I played in a couple bands in college. Actually, the town I went to college in, Fredericksburg, Virginia. Shout out to Mary Washington. That's where Keller Williams is from.
Oh, nice.
And so a bunch of my musician buddies, they went to high school with him, and so he played bass in one of our bluegrass Grateful Dead cover bands right as he was starting to break out on the scene.
Yeah.
And that was fun. And just other than that, just like some random other things, but mostly bluegrass back in those days.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you're in some other projects right now, too. What do you got going on?
That's right, yeah. I've got a 5-piece bluegrass band called Rusty 44, and then a 6-piece bluegrass band here in town called Bluegrama. So both those bands play pretty regularly. So that, along with the Catcalls here, keeps me nice and busy.
Nice and busy, yeah. That's awesome. And we have Joe Schicky on the bass. How are you today, Joe?
I'm good. How are you, Sean?
Good. And what about you? Anything, any moment, any artist in your life that made you realize that the world is nothing without playing some music?
Man, I really believe that. It was kind of like Dave. I think I was 6 when I knew I needed a guitar, so I asked my parents for it. And I think the reason why I knew I needed one is because I have 3 older sisters, and they listened to a lot of music on their record player in the early 80s. And it was stuff like Van Halen, Billy Squier, Kiss, and things like that. And so they were really annoyed by me because they wanted to have their own thing because they were like tweens or teenagers, and I was like 4 or 5, and I really wanted to be a part of that. And so I think that's where I kind of got the spark, and then my mom walked around the house whistling and humming all the time, and that got kind of ingrained in the way I think about things.
Yeah. I still have a song that gets stuck in my head that I think that my mom just made up about the days of the week when I was a kid.
Can you sing it for us?
Today's Monday. She would just, every time you walk down the stairs, she'd be like, today's Monday, today's Monday.
Nice.
And she would just repeat it, and I don't know why. I guess when you're a parent, you end up singing songs and things like that to like sometimes teach kids directions, like what road are we on right now, that kind of stuff. But I don't know if that's what it was. Or
can you imagine not walking around humming songs in your head or it's something I can't even fathom.
Yeah, it probably doesn't help in other aspects of my life when people are talking to me and my brain's like got its own thing going on. But
I was going to say, honestly, the Days of the Week song would be really helpful for me at this stage in my life as well.
Well, you can incorporate it.
Yes,
man.
you got it now.
You're never too old to sing the Days of the Week. I'll
record it for you, Dave.
The next Team Mule.
Exactly. Rock and roll. But yeah, Joe, your first instrument was that guitar?
Yeah, my parents got me eventually. Not eventually. They came around pretty quickly. They got me from Amro Music Store on Austin P in Memphis, Raleigh,
nice.
where I grew up. And it was a little classical guitar. And I took lessons for a summer, and then I got tired of it because I didn't like being told what to do. He wanted to do like the formal training, and then so I quit. And then when I was in middle school is when I asked him again for an electric guitar. That took more finagling and persuading, and eventually I got that. But I have to say, if you're tricked into playing music, I totally recommend that if you have kids to trick them. Any means necessary to even learn formal, because I'm really glad I learned the notes. And I don't sight read very well. It takes me forever, but I'm really glad that I know those little bits of theory so I can talk about it. But
yeah, theory's hard too. So if you can pick it up when you're a child, maybe it helps. It's easier than when you're an adult because I can't figure it out.
Yeah,
YouTube's not helping me on that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good old YouTube.
Yeah, and you play, well, I feel like it was a couple years ago that you were you sort of tricked into playing the bass because your main gig is like guitar, and I thought I saw like maybe it was Eric Lundy or something, like tricked you into playing a show with him or something. And you're like, I've never played bass before, but now I'm playing with Eric Lundy.
No, I'm not easily tricked like Dylan. I decided on my own I wanted to play bass because I'm a huge music fan, as we all are, and I am just super infatuated with drum and bass, like that whole thing that's going on there in rhythm sections, and I just wanted to be a part of it, because you get a different thrill. People might not know this, but it's kind of thrilling to play bass. Yeah, it's thrilling to play lead guitar too, but it's a different thrill, and I just wanted a part of it. So
it's hard. Most bass players come in and I say, "How many bands are you in?" And they're like, "I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 7, 10." Because there's not enough bass players. But it's a whole different world. It looks similar to a guitar and it plays similar to a guitar, but it's a different ride you're on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's really cool. Well, you have West Side Joe and the Men of Soul that you play with, right? And you've got some other bands you play with?
Yeah, West Side Joe and the Men of Soul is my band that I write the songs for and sing, and there's 4 people in the band, and we're having a great time playing music, playing gigs, writing songs, recording when we can. Yeah. And then I play bass with Eric Lundy and guitar with Eric Lundy, depending on what he needs, and same thing with Bevan Luna. Yeah.
Hence the shirt.
Hence the shirt. I might be missing somebody, but and the Catcalls. So
yeah, well, you've got Racing with the Sun.
That's right.
With the formidable Nick Clark.
Clark,
who has a brand new album. Everybody's buddy, Nick Clark.
I think it came out today, bro.
Today, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Amazing.
It's good.
Yeah.
And a little Steve Amodei and stuff sometimes. So.
Yeah. Sweet. We have Steve Amodei, Nick Clark, and me in Racing with the Sun.
Yeah.
So thanks for reminding me.
Sweet little party there. Well, let's play a couple more songs. It looks like you got something new coming up. You want to tell us about this next song, Riley?
Yeah, so it had been a hot minute since I wrote a song, so I sat down and cranked out a little something, and brought it to the guys, and I was like, let's turn this into a song. So they kind of helped massage it and develop it into what it is now. So this is a brand new one called Kerosene. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, babe, you wanna strike a match with me? Oh, babe, you wanna hold that flame? Oh, baby, watch it till your fingers bleed, but you don't know I'm made of kerosene, yeah. Kerosene, 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 kerosene. Oh, babe, the heat starts rising. Oh, babe, but you smile through the pain. Oh, babe, the smoke burns her eyes, but you don't know I'm made of kerosene, yeah. Kerosene, kerosene, kerosene. Oh, kerosene, kerosene, kerosene. You could hold my flame, but you're praying for rain. Oh, baby, now I'm gonna walk away and watch your embers die in shame, yeah. Kerosene, kerosene, kerosene. Oh, kerosene, kerosene, kerosene. Burn you up, tear you down, ashes on.
Kerosene with the Catcalls. What's coming up next here?
All right, we got Bloodhounds. This one was on our EP that came out back in 2020.
Nice.
Yeah. Forget, dear, that I've always been free. Honey, won't you tell me what's wrong? And knew this would happen all along. Another one down, and just like Bloodhound, oh baby, come on. Love is just a shadow, not a victory. Different about you. No one wants you in the morning, sometimes late at night. got a bad habit of making him cry.
All right, Bloodhounds with the Catcalls here on KRFC, live at lunch. And before that, Kerosene. And so you're kind of mixing up some brand new songs, a little bit with the old songs. I love it. I love it. You kicked off the hour with Muddy Waters. And I was just wondering if that's... at first, there's a great video of it. From Clover Lick, and I'll ask about that in a second. But is it an homage to Muddy Waters as much as it is a metaphor?
Well, with songwriting, it's easy to not write songs.
Yeah.
And at that point, it had been a hot minute since I wrote a song, and I sat down and I was like, I'm just going to give myself parameters. I'm going to write a 12-bar blues tune. Mm-hmm. I was kind of thinking about Muddy Waters, but I was thinking, that's kind of a cool metaphor. Mm-hmm. And so I came up with, my initial draft of that, and then, again, I brought it to the guys and turned it into what it is today. So
nice.
that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Are you writing most of your songs on electric or acoustic? How do you sketch out, or for this band at least, because the bluegrass one probably a little different, but
yeah.
But our roots projects are a little different. But do you start on an electric guitar usually for this project?
I don't know. It kind of varies. It's usually whatever is handy.
Yeah.
A guitar is a guitar, but what I do love about guitars is they all feel a little bit different. So sometimes you grab what I might come up with on my electric might come out a little bit differently on my acoustic. Not just the timbre, but I'm just saying how I'm thinking about the song. And sometimes I'll switch around and just kind of whatever I'm feeling at the moment.
The personality of the instrument as well as your own personality in your song. How do you feel that your songwriting has changed? Like you just played right next to each other, Muddy Waters, really new song right next to Supernova, what you said was one of your oldest, and similarly Kerosene, and then something from 2020. Do you feel like your songwriting process has changed in between that fairly new stuff versus something you wrote a while back?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like when I first started writing songs, I just followed my intuition of just what the song wants, and I still always try to listen for that. But now, when I'm writing songs, you spoke about theory before. A lot of times I'll think about things in a little bit more of a theoretical concept, or a little bit more giving myself those parameters. For instance, we're going to play another new tune that, I wrote with the intention of trying to write a blues tune with a driving riff underneath. So I don't know. I still try to follow that intuition, but I'm bringing in more different tools to kind of diversify what I'm coming up with.
Yeah. And do you feel like are you always writing, or are you I'm going to sit down every day? Is it just always going through your brain, or is it I'm going to sit down at 6 o'clock every morning and work on writing? Is there a day-to-day process, or is it just always in the back of your mind, or only when I walk the dog, or those kind of things?
I wish I was that self-disciplined to write every day at 6 a.m. Oh, my God.
Me too.
Honestly, most of my best ideas, little song fragments that I get, come when I'm doing something physical. I'm on a hike, or I'm on a paddleboard, or biking, or something.
Moving, yeah.
When you're not consciously thinking about songwriting, a lot of times I'll just get these little fragments in my brain, and I'll try to record them on voice memos and then go back to them and try to flesh them out into something.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm not as self-disciplined with it as I
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
I feel like I should be, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's why I give myself parameters. I give myself little homework assignments.
Yeah, and then so you take the raw kind of demo to the band and then flesh it out as like a whole group, or do you kind of come with it like, here's where the guitar solo should be, or do you, like, I'm thinking of this lick, Dave, or do you do that kind of stuff, or is it just a real collaboration once it's brought to the band?
Kind of both, because a lot of
both.
times I'll have an idea in mind, but you know, with Kerosene, we kind of flipped it on its head, and we kind of changed around some chord progressions, and it definitely feels really collaborative. And I mean, that's a great thing about playing with such incredible musicians like these guys. Yeah. I have so much faith and like trust in them that I know I can bring them something that's pretty rough, and we can polish it up make something that sounds like us.
That's awesome.
I feel like that's a really unique. This is Dave here, but I feel like that's a unique thing about this band. There are other bands where that is not the case. The songs come and it's like, well, okay, maybe you can have a little bit of input here or a little bit of input there, but a lot of times the Catcalls songs, especially in the last couple years, have been that process of just like, here's a seed, and then we sit around a room and just jam on it and move ideas around and try it a bunch of different ways, you know, and then collectively agree that that's probably the best way. And I really enjoy that we all have separate backgrounds, because that really helps in that process to find what the song actually is going to be best suited for, as far as arrangements or riffs or any of that goes.
That's cool. That's good. That makes everybody's hearts feel good, right? When you're playing it. My contribution, yeah. Heck yeah. Well, and let's jump back to that Muddy Waters. You do have a brand new, or it's not brand new, I think it's been out for a little bit, but a new video for Muddy Waters that you recorded at Cloverlick Banjo Shop, and they just moved, and I haven't even been there yet. Is it open to the public yet? And can you tell us about how that came about and that process of making that video at Cloverlick?
Yeah. So I don't know if Cloverlick is officially open to the public. I was actually there a few weeks ago. I took one of my students. I'm teaching at the Matthews House. Just a couple of students right now. And one of the several instruments that student wanted to learn is banjo. And so she's been just falling in love with it. It's like, we should go see a banjo shop. So it looks great. Cool. And Rooster out there is just working so hard, and I'm really excited to see what more they're going to bring to our community. They have this great space, and they love sharing it with, doing concerts out there and whatnot. They've done a few concerts, but they're still kind of working on some of the finishing touches of the shop, is my understanding.
Because I went to the old one, and it was amazing, small, tight, but really cool. So I'm excited. Where is it located? It's on a farm somewhere?
It's like right off Prospect.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Kind of not far from like Prospect and LeMay.
Okay. I'm excited to go in there, because the stuff that Rooster and that whole crew is making is just beautiful artwork.
Yeah. Truly
artwork. So that's really cool. And so how did the video come about then?
So for the video, that we filmed that for the NPR Tiny Desk concert contest. And, we hadn't recorded Muddy Waters yet, but, we were about to record that and release that as a single. And, I pitched it to the guys. I'm like, what if we do Muddy Waters? Let's find something. And, we were all kind of brainstorming, like, what would be a cool place? And I just kept thinking, it's like, I want this, like, abandoned warehouse kind of thing. And I don't know how the banjo shop came up, but... we were working with Chris Wiest. He's with Woodbelly, but he has a media company called Kettle Whistle Media. Okay. And, he's pretty well connected with BJ and Rooster and everything. And, we got everyone on board, and I love how it turned out.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So we got that sort of abandoned feel, but I feel like we also got to preserve this little, where Cloverlick used to be, and that's a cool little treasure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Chris is a great musician, but he's also a great film dude.
Director?
I call him film dudes.
Film dudes,
but videographer.
The world needs film dudes.
We need more film dudes. But yeah, Chris is a multi-talented individual.
Awesome. Speaking of film dudes, too, we have great film dudes here for RadioVision for Live at Lunch. So I'll give the weekly shout out to our awesome crew. We have our videographers. We have Eric and Jeremy crushing it on the videos, and then Chrissy and Greg and Toby all making everybody sound great. I mean, you already sound great, but we got to run it through something to record it and make sure the room's coming together and sounds beautiful. And they're doing a great job. So thank you to our entire crew for their weekly endeavors and this live at lunch adventure we all go on. Yeah, thank you, crew. And once again, the Catcalls right here on KRFC 88.9 FM. Let's play a couple more songs. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that wasn't enthusiastic yet. Can we get that again? Let's play some more songs. What do you think?
Yeah.
Woo, there we go.
Let's do that. The songs play.
The songs play. So,
I'll start this one in the right key too, guys.
there you go.
Perfect.
So yeah, we're here on KRFC 88.9 FM, Fort Collins. If you're listening on the radio, you can always check out the KRFC RadioVision YouTube page. It's a great place to watch these amazing musicians do what they do. You can hit that follow button and subscribe and all that stuff and get all the updates for each Friday when we release another Live at Lunch. All right, the Catcalls.
What will we call ourselves when the fire's fled? Will there be enough of us? Bury all the dead? Will we cling to battered flags of a government? I don't know. I don't know. Us free, man behind a podium said it on TV, and God we trust, or so they say, is how we lead. I don't know.
Just gonna switch another guitar out.
Yeah. That was my stand with the Catcalls. And we're here on Live at Lunch, KRFC. Little guitar switcheroo. Anybody got a good joke? Dave, I heard a giggle.
It's gotta be appropriate.
Oh, man.
None are radio appropriate at this band, really.
We went through the list of things you can't say on the radio.
Now it's all I can think about.
This is Dylan's favorite song, though.
Oh, awesome. That's good.
I learned that at practice the other night.
Yes, it is.
Assuming I'm reading the list correctly.
We played a little while ago. I think Joe was unavailable, but we played the Boulder Marathon. And the name of this next song is called Tired of Running. And we were just kind of tickled that that was something that we were playing loudly and singing at while people were on the last leg of a marathon.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
But I feel like we talked to some of them afterwards.
Play
they
that
said,
the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. That's what we should have done. Just repeat that chorus.
That and Running on Empty, and then you got your 5-hour gig of playing to runners.
Yeah, it is a marathon for the musicians too.
Yeah.
That's no joke.
Yeah. I was offered to play that once, but I usually run. I used to run them all the time, and so I could never play it because I was always running. But I'd do both. Hop on after.
I've seen that at Tour de Fat.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
dude is like playing guitar with like a little battery-powered amp in the back and just
Oh,
like
nice.
wheeling around. I was like, woo.
I'm not that good at no hands.
Well, I think he was better than he thought he was. It's like, wait a little bit later in the morning and thought he might be toppling over.
Yeah, a couple hours.
All right, you good to go?
Cool.
Be more proud. I used to think that I can leave this godforsaken town. Can't afford to stay here. Can't afford to leave. Can't afford to live amongst all these goddamn thieves. I'm so tired of running over. Tired of chasing nothing when ain't
Tired of Running with the Catcalls. Before that was My Stand. And we're going to tidy up some loose ends here in this last little bit, and then we'll play a couple more songs. That sound good?
Great.
First, I wanted to apologize because Dan is also running sound today, and I had it written down, and I just didn't say it. So thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Dan's the man.
As well as the rest of the crew. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, tidy up that first. Have a lot of shows coming up, which is totally awesome. But before we talk about that too, there's tons of pictures, Riley, with you and snakes and reptiles. So I just was wondering, are you a reptile person, or is that I'm getting over the fear of reptiles thing you're going through, or?
Yeah, the latter.
Oh wow, okay.
So we played a fundraiser show for the Northern Colorado Herpetological Society back in March. And I'm friends with one of the people who is heavily involved with that nonprofit. And I hit them up, and I was like, okay, I'm actually kind of afraid of snakes, but I think it'd make a really cool picture. Could we do a photo shoot with a snake? And they were like, yeah, totally.
Nice.
So their name is Lise, and they're phenomenal. And so they asked me, like, oh, you know, they put like one of the slower ones on me, a python. Apparently they're pretty chill. And so the snake's name, her name was Nagi. And I was like, my heart was like pounding really, really hard. I was like, it's going to look cool. It's going to look cool. So I went for it. And
it looked cool.
Yeah, it did look cool because Lisa's also an amazing photographer. And then after they took Nagi off my shoulders, then I was like, oh, so what's the eating like, and how do they poop, and all kinds of stuff. So I learned how snakes poop. It's very cool. They have a little vent. You know,
little vent.
Just looks like a little scale, and it just kind of
Nice.
opens up, and it's an exit for everything.
Exit.
So now you know, a little PBS special.
The more you know.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think they were there last time I went to the Lyric too. They were hanging out with some giant reptiles, and that's fun. I didn't wear a snake, but
Snake scarf.
but that's cool. And you can see those pictures on your Facebook page. That all is kind of leading to the contact information. Your Facebook page, Instagram page, catcallsband.com is a great place to find out more information about the Catcalls. Is that correct? Is that the best place, or what do you suggest?
Yeah, the catcallsband.com is a good place. We probably post more regularly on Instagram and Facebook, which is just, you know, at the Catcalls.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good place to see photos of me with snakes and other things.
All right, catcallsband.com. And then you have some shows coming up. So what kind of shows we got going on? Riley's talking. Dave, you want to start? Or, I mean, tuning. Dave, do you want to start so she can focus?
Sure.
I can't do both at the same time. So.
I'm really excited. Mentioned earlier that I play in a bluegrass band called Blue Grama. And August 3rd, we will be doing support for the Steep Canyon Rangers at the Aggie Theater right here in Fort Collins. And I understand that they're maybe slotted to be here in the station then.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely be working on Live at Lunch with them. So that's pretty awesome. We're excited about that.
Yeah, we are equally excited to share the stage with those guys. I grew up in Virginia, and those guys have been running around the Carolinas for a long time.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, that he also toured around with Steve Martin.
Yes.
The famous comedian and most excellent banjo player.
He is a great banjo player.
And so
Star of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Touring. What's that?
Yeah.
Star of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
You're right.
Yes.
It's a good movie.
And
Among many others.
Could
Let's
go on.
list them all.
Let's list all the Steve Martin movies. How long do we have again? All right, and so the Blue Grama's playing August 3rd, Steep Canyon Rangers. We've got a Riley and Dave duo coming up.
Yeah, so sometimes instead of the full-blown rock band, Dave and I will play as a super stripped-down duo, kind of acoustic electric. And so we're playing in Windsor at the country club, Pelican Lakes Country Club.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool place.
Yeah, on Saturday, July 22nd from 5 to 8 p.m.
Nice. Is that in the bar?
I don't know. I'll find out when we get there.
They have a pool.
Their first time.
In the past, I think they've done pool things by the lake and the sand, and then also there's a bar there. So you never know where they're going to put you. Is what happened when I went.
I never thought to ask, and now I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
I kind of want to play a pool party.
Yeah, you need electricity wherever you are.
Not too close to the pool. But.
No, but and then let's see what else do we got. West Side Joe and the Men of Soul. You got some shows coming up.
Yes, we're at Max Line Brewing, July 27th. That's the day before my birthday.
Woo!
So you can bring me a present. And thank you. Can you just mention your birthday, that you have one, and people say happy birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That's
So happy birthday, everyone.
I have a birthday too. Mine's in March. I'm a Pisces.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
So, I'll be turning an age.
an age. That's the best one.
Yes, and then we're doing September 29th at the Magic Rat. And then I just thought of another one, Sean. We're playing in between the CSU, when CSU plays Navy, we're playing at that football game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in October.
Yeah, the
When
The
is Bike
pregame
Prom?
Bike Prom's tomorrow night, so that'll be June 15th.
Okay.
Yeah.
and then lyric
15th, whatever.
September 9th
June,
for Fight the Stigma.
Fight the Stigma Fest on September 9th at the Lyric. There's a bunch
Blast
of
and
other
Scrap.
bands. Blast and Scrap's involved with that, and is trying to fight the stigma against drug and alcohol addiction. So it's okay to talk about it. It's a good thing to talk about it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to promote there.
Nice. All right. Well, let's play. You got 2 more songs for us. This is, I believe, a brand new song, right?
It is.
All right.
Yeah, this is one that I brought to the band as like a little baby nugget. And I was like, I feel like something's missing. And pretty unanimously, they're like, yeah, it needs a chorus. Needs a B part. So we wrote
They
that.
just say
and-
that. You don't need a
Yeah,
chorus.
massaged it, and this is what we came up with. I don't believe in broken mirrors or black cats on the trail. Every time I run with you, bad luck comes without fail. Bad luck, bad luck, bad luck, bad luck. It's on you like a shadow, a noose you can't get out. And the floor drops from the gallows, I won't be hanging around. Bad luck, bad luck. Bad luck, bad luck. Everything I do since I met you, I get bad luck too. No matter how I try, day and day, night and night, I just can't shake these bad luck. Everything I do leaves me crawling back to you, but I'm gonna keep on trying to outrun these bad luck blues. Bad luck, bad luck,
right, bad luck with the Catcalls. KRFC 88.9 FM. This is RadioVision's Live at Lunch. We got one more from the Catcalls coming up here, and we're just grateful for you all for being in here today. Hope you're having a good time.
We are. We're grateful for you, Shaw. Thank you for being such a great host.
Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. Enjoy chatting and learning a little bit more about everybody. Go around the circle. Take a few squares of toilet paper. For each square, tell us something about yourself.
Is this a baby shower? What is this right now?
Riley's strapping on the cigar box 4-string. How's that tuned?
Well, yeah, it's a 4-string. Typically, it's a bottom 4 strings of a guitar, but I've got an open D tuning for our last tune.
Nice. The last tune, I Get High, which we played a bunch here on the station. So
yeah, thank you so much.
No problem.
Usually sounds better if we're in tune, so thanks for your patience.
That's okay.
That's why they typically don't make guitars out of cardboard boxes.
What are you talking about? Okay. Thank you again so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, so here's our last tune, I Get High. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2.
Somebody told me to be good. Stop running around like they thought I should. Settle down in some neighborhood. I really don't think that they understood. Get high, get dry, get low. I get high, get dry, low. I get high, get dry, get low. I get high, get dry, low. Mama had told me, little girl, you must have done right in this world. Do it yourself, 'cause everyone do it all the time. Get high, get dry, get low. I get high, get dry, low. I get high, get dry, get low. I get high, get dry, low. Everyone is out for themselves. Nobody else. Why, yeah, just right, you gotta do it on your own. Mama and Daddy raised me good, even though I'm misunderstood. Won't say I'm sorry for who I am. If it's right now, I don't give a damn. Get high, get dry, get low. I get high, get dry, low. I get high, get dry, get low. I get high, get dry, low. All alone, all alone, all alone.
Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch, and thank you to the Music District here in the heart of Fort Collins, Colorado. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email our music director, David Vacek, at david@krfcfm.org.